So we are now on record. So first of all, thank you so much for coming to today's meeting, and I'm so glad to have each and every one of you here. So now, basically, today we are going to give you guys a complete onboarding message, or a complete onboarding. Uh, we are going to onboard you guys, right, fully into the the Cloud Skills Challenge, which Microsoft has prepared for each and every one of you, so that you can be able to empower yourself. You can be able to develop your skill. I don't know your interest, but then we already know that today the world is going towards cloud computing and artificial intelligence. And that is the reason why Microsoft has prepared these wonderful modules for you, so that you can be able to um, go through them. You can be able to practice them. You can be able to create solutions from this model. Trust me, you don't need a prerequisite knowledge of what, or you don't need a prerequisite knowledge of artificial intelligence, neither do you need a prerequisite knowledge of cloud computing. All you need is what? Your interest. That's the prerequisite. It's just your interest um to be able to learn, and then you want to upskill. So now in this challenge, we have three objectives. Number one objective is for you to compete, right? Number one is what? To compete. And then, which is what? To track and benchmark your progress against your local community. We already know that. I think majority of you guys here are students, and then not a lot of students know about this opportunity. We have tried our best to make publicity to the best way that we can, so that so many people can be able to join, and then so many people can be able to benefit from this particular thing. But then it's just unfortunate that not everybody was able to see this opportunity that was given to them, and then it was not, should I say, is not, um, not everybody was privileged also um, to know that there's something like this going on. So this gives you the opportunity to be able to upskill yourself, and then what, so that you can compete among your peers and succeed even much more better. Now, the next thing is for you to what? To learn. Now, learn in the sense that you have to increase your understanding with self-paced learning, and stay current on cloud technologies, right? So remember, we are talking about cloud computing, and of course, that is the boss everywhere. Almost everybody is talking about cloud computing. And then what these learning parts are, what? Self-paced. So though we know that we have allotted some modules that for you to be able to finish within a week, right? We have allotted them, but then because they are self-paced, you can be able to finish them even in a day, right? The module for next week, you can finish it in a day. So the moment you finish the module for next week, you know that you finish your task for the week. So all you need to do is you can wait for the next week, so that you can start the next module. But then those modules will be available for you. Um, those modules will be available for you from beginning to end, from start to end, right? The modules are not just restricted that they will be unlocked every week. So you can be able to finish this week's module, and then you start for the next week's module within a week. Do you understand? Okay, so yeah, so that's one thing that you need to understand. And then the third thing is for you to what? To develop your skills, right? To grow your marketable skills. You should be able to grow your marketable skills, uh, to better yourself and your work and your career. So these are the three objectives that we have to achieve in this challenge, right? These are the three objectives, and that is the reason why Microsoft has prepared these. That's the reason why Microsoft has prepared these particular modules for you, to be able to upskill you as a student, or as a worker, or as a professional. Please, I'm sorry if uh I may have to be muting you guys. So try as much as possible when you join the call, you check your mic. If your mic is not muted, you mute it um, so that you will not obstruct the call for others. Yes, so these are the three objectives that we want to achieve in this call. And I really wish you guys the best. And so we have two amazing speakers who are going to come up, and then they will give you a complete tour of where those courses are going to be hosted, right? Where those courses are going to be hosted. These two amazing speakers are going to come up, and then they will introduce you guys to those platforms and how to go about um, your learning process for the next 6 weeks, even as the course has been calibrated for that. So in the absence of any other thing, let me welcome Mr. David Atama. Mr. David Atama is a Microsoft Learn student ambassador from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So he will be coming up to speak to us about and then give us a tour, right? He's coming up to give us a tour about the Microsoft Learn platform and how you can be able to use the Microsoft Learn platform and and learn successfully. So please, if your hands are not busy, you can click on the clapping emoji there to welcome Mr. David. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So, Mr. David, you can come on.
Hi, much, Joshua, and thank you for coming. I'm honored.
Yeah, thank you, David.
I have a bit of technical issues with my system. I'm currently talking with my phone, so my system is having technical. Bringing my system back on.
Okay, all right. So while we wait for you to bring up your system, so can we move straight to the next speaker while you are trying to set up your system? Um, so now the next speaker is Mr. Emmanuel Abada. Mr. Emmanuel Abada is from University of Benin. He's a student of computer science department. Oh, sorry, yeah, a student of computer science, University of Benin. He is also a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, and he will be coming up to. Okay, I'm not loud. Am I loud enough? Can you guys? Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
All
Better
right, all
now.
right. Oh, okay, all right. Thank you so much. So, as I was saying, Mr. Emmanuel is a Microsoft Learn student ambassador from University of Benin, and he will be coming up to talk to us about artificial intelligence and cloud computing just briefly before I come in to show you guys the benefits of taking this learning. But apart from getting the knowledge, there are also some benefits that we have kept for you so that at the end of your learning journey in the next 6 weeks, you can be able to have something to show for it. So thank you so much. Please, let's welcome Mr. Emmanuel Abada to come up to the stage. You can clap for him too if your hands are not too busy.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. You could just mute your mic and answer me. I'm big on responses. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes, good
Okay,
evening,
thank
sir.
you very much.
Yeah,
Yes, good
Yes.
evening. So, like Mr. Joshua rightly said, I'm Emmanuel Abada, and I'm an MLSC from Uniben. So, I'm talking about cloud computing and AI, right? Cloud computing and AI. It's quite unfortunate that our first speaker had an issue, a technical issue. It would have been more interesting if he spoke about the Microsoft Learn part first. But since he's not if he can't do that, I'll be speaking about cloud computing and AI. So I'm sure most of us here on this challenge, we may have come across cloud computing at some point before, right? And we actually all know what AI means. Are we
Yes,
together?
yes, we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So I'll just be talking about the capabilities of cloud computing. So if for those of us that don't know what cloud computing is, I'm sure that most of us have a phone that uses is it Google Drive? Google Photos, right? Most of us use Google Photos. And then we back up our photos, and even after clearing them from our phones, we still find them in our phones, in our Google Photos account. That's just a very common example of cloud computing. And that's just one part. That's the storage part. Personally, that's off MLSA. Before now, I'm an AWS certified cloud practitioner. So, I was quite, is it shocked now when Mr. Joshua said I'm talking about cloud computing and AI, like, did this guy know that I've done cloud computing stuff before? That kind of thing. So, cloud computing, right, and AI. So, like I said before, or I think I've not said that. So, cloud computing has to do with leveraging on-demand services online. Sorry, I don't know if. So, cloud computing has to do with leveraging resources online. That's compute resources, storage resources, network resources, and then we have a lot of cloud computing platforms. Even though I'll be focusing on Microsoft, which is their cloud computing platform is Azure, which is the what we are going to be using for the challenge we are going to be having. So in today's world, cloud computing is something that is very vital. And why is that? It's because it has a lot of advantages. For instance, before now, most people, like some people will tell you that they cannot do some things with their system, right? Because they had let's say you have a system of 2 gig RAM, there are some things you cannot do. You have a system of 4 gig RAM, there are some things you cannot do because you need a higher RAM. But with cloud computing, you're able to deploy those services on demand. You just go to Azure, log into your Azure account, deploy some compute services, and then you can do what you're supposed to do on your system on the cloud, right? I just concluded my undergraduate project some days ago, and building my project, I had to use Cargo. I had to use Cargo GPUs. I don't know how many of us are data scientists here. Well, I did not really, how did they call it now? I did not talk about my portfolio, but I'm into data science and data analytics. So I use Cargo a lot. So that's one of the platforms, allows you to deploy services. And then talking about AI is a very general, it's quite broad. It's something that there is no all-encompassing definition for artificial intelligence, right? You just say artificial intelligence is technology that allows computers to think like humans, but it's a lot more. There are branches to AI. You have machine learning, you have natural language processing, you have computer vision. And if we have gone through the modules that are in this cloud challenge that we are going to be doing, we'll find that there is natural language processing, there is computer vision, if I'm not mistaken. So those are some skills that as a student, as a professional, you need to equip yourself with, because they have a wide range of applications. They have a very, very, very wide range of applications. We use them every day. It's in recommendation systems, in prediction systems, So having to know how to build some of these things, getting this knowledge from this cloud challenge will better equip you for, will I say, for the workplace. Okay, I would not use for the workplace because most of us are students, but it will better equip you to carry out jobs, right? It will better equip you to carry out jobs wherever you are. You could build systems for people, you could build products, you could join challenges, right? I think we had a challenge on that's DSN. I'm also a member of Data Scientist Network, and we had a challenge not too long ago. I joined the Data Scientist Network bootcamp for Africa. Yeah, I was second in Africa for the bootcamp, and that was a price prediction challenge. It was something that was, it went wild. And that was because I'd already learned some of these skills using Microsoft Learn, using Solo Learn, using other platforms. So I really cannot overemphasize the importance of having to know these things. It makes you, it equips you for the challenge in front. So you don't get to, no matter and it's not just for data scientists or for machine learning experts or for data analysts. It's across, it's for every single person. If you're a web developer, if you're an app developer, if you're into mobile app developer still, no matter what you do in tech, you can always leverage these tools, right? And for the most part, Microsoft has made it really easy. When I stumbled on the Microsoft Learn platform, it was a good mind. It has always been there, but I hope I'm not exceeding my time. It has always been there. Mr. Joshua, am I exceeding my time?
Go on.
Thank you very much.
No, go on.
So
Go on,
I stumbled on Microsoft Learn. I'd always seen it, just okay, go to the Microsoft platform, but I'd not really, most people, they want to learn from videos and they're like, okay, the Microsoft Learn is just plenty writing. They don't really have time to read. And when I started taking time to, I think it was a challenge. It was a challenge like this I joined. It was also called the Cloud Skill Challenge, but it was, I think it was it for 1 week or for 2 weeks or so? It was a Cloud Skill Challenge. I joined it, and carrying out that challenge, interacting with other people on the challenge, I found that I was learning a whole lot for free. There are a lot of platforms. There's Udemy, there's Coursera, there's Skillshare, there's edX, where you get to learn and then you get to pay. That's great. But Microsoft is offering you, these things to learn them for free from directly from Microsoft. It's not like somebody like a third party, just like me now. I'm hosting a Microsoft class and then I'm teaching you Microsoft things. That would be me teaching it. But this is directly from Microsoft from Microsoft company, sorry. Yeah, this is directly from Microsoft. So it's an opportunity that we should leverage, right? The importance of cloud computing and AI cannot be overemphasized, and that's just the truth, right? And then there are certifications. I think I don't know if Mr. Joshua will talk about that. There are a lot of certifications that you could leverage on Microsoft as a student. Being a student is it's really great. Most of these companies, they have vouchers, free vouchers. Like as I was saying, I said I'm an AWS certified cloud practitioner, and I got there with a voucher. I got a scholarship just because I'm a student and I applied. So there are a lot of opportunities, these opportunities that you should look out for, and some of them will require you to have some prerequisite knowledge to take advantage of them. And this is the knowledge you are going to be building in this cloud skill challenge. So I'd want to admonish each and every one of us to, take it seriously. You don't have to be pushed. Somebody was saying, I think in my community, that's the Uniben MLSA community, we're discussing how we're going to engage students more. And then some persons were talking about swags, giving them gifts. Yes, we do that. But you don't need somebody to push you. Like, this is your life. Like, this is when you're done, if you have these skills, you're going to be making it big. You're going to be making a lot of money. You're going to be making a lot of impact. You're going to be solving a lot of problems. You're going to have, they call them on-demand skills or in-demand skills. These are skills that are needed. You should not sleep on them. Now that you are a student, you have the opportunities to learn these things free. You can get certifications free. When you're no longer a student, you'll be paying a lot of money for them. 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, and people are still paying for them because they have got to find out how important these things are. So we should leverage these things, right? Microsoft has a lot of tools for free. You have GitHub Copilot, you have Student Hub, you have Microsoft Learn. These are tools that students like us should take advantage of, right? So I think that's just it. So I'll be dropping the mic here so I don't get to speak for 1 hour, So thank you very much. And I hope we did learn something. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions, please? I don't know if we're going to take questions at the end of this session.
Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. I think I'm already getting motivated to start the challenge. That's why it is very necessary we have this kickoff call so that we give them a complete onboarding of the whole challenge. And Mr. Emmanuel, trust me, you have done justice to that. We really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. And yes,
Yeah, thank you,
there
sir.
will be a provision for question and answers, which should come at the end of the whole thing. So if you have a question, please feel free to write down your question, write it down, and then when it's time, we'll give you the opportunity to ask. And I think the room is already getting heated up. And thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for doing that for us. We really appreciate. Yes, so Mr. David, are you set already? Can we go on? Can you share your screen now so that you can give us a tour of the platform?
I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, I've not been able to um get back to my system. I've been trying for some minutes and it's not going to. You
Oh,
could
okay.
I could use your own you could share your screen
Oh,
to
okay.
that.
Yeah, I
I could
think
use
I
your own
think that
screen.
that yeah, I think that should work. That should work. That should work fine by me. So let me share my screen. Uh, let me share my
Okay.
screen, and then you let me know if you can see my screen.
All right.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Um, all right. So my screen should be coming up in the next 2 minutes if it's not yet up. So I
Yeah.
believe you can see my
Okay.
screen already.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, guys. I welcome you all specially to this summer class skills challenge. It's an opportunity to upskill yourself. Like the former speaker has said, Microsoft is a very big tech giant that they spend a lot of money on students. What do I mean by this? You get to learn free of charge. They give you free vouchers for you to validate those skills you've gained through learning, all from this platform you are seeing on the screen right now, Microsoft Learn. So it's an opportunity for you to gain skills, to learn new technologies. It's an opportunity for you to get certified, all for free. So I call on you all to take advantage of this opportunity. It will always be there, but taking hold of it now will be a greater advantage. So from what we are seeing on the screen now, this is a Microsoft Learn platform. It is an e-learning platform where Microsoft hosts courses and demos on their technologies. Whatever you want to learn about Microsoft product technologies and services, you can find all of them on this platform you're looking at right now. And for you to join the challenge, that has been just introduced, you must be signed up on this platform. So the link will be shared to you later by Joshua, if you've not already done that. Okay. From what you can see, this page is currently on the Learn menu. So as you can see, there is a Microsoft, there is Learn, there is documentation. No, just, yeah. Okay. There is Learn, there is documentation, there is training, there is certification, there's Q&A, and the rest of them. But what you're talking about now is Learn. That is the platform where you can learn about Microsoft technologies. Am I audible?
Yes, sure, you are.
Okay. So could you scroll down a little bit? So the first one you can see there is learn by doing. Second one, find technical documentations. That's if you're looking for a document or a guide, a step-by-step guide on a particular product or services by Microsoft, you can find them on this particular one. Showcase your skills. So this is where you get to see a whole lot of certifications that Microsoft offer, from the beginner level to professional to expert level. You can scroll down. Ask questions and get help. So this is where you can get already answered questions which you might have. It's also where you can connect with other people who are using the platform, both beginners, intermediate guys, and experts, people who work at Microsoft. So you get your answers answered there. Then try your code samples. So this is where you can, if you're a web developer or you are into any kind of development, this is where you can find sample codes which you can use to test whatever you are trying to build. Yeah, you can, scroll down. Yeah, keep going down. So what you can see here, so go a little bit upwards. Sorry.
Is he okay?
So these are quotes from people who use the platform. Ricardo Lessa, a pre-sales engineer. You can see what he said here. I was able to believe again in the possibility of starting over, updating myself, and returning to IT market. So it doesn't matter where your skill level is, whether you are a beginner, whether you are just starting out in tech, like you are, when it comes to tech, you are blank. It doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or a pro. So this platform will guide you from the very start, whether you know something already or you are just starting out. So this is the platform for you, Microsoft Learn. Jacqueline Ye said, I want others to know that with some hard work, dedication, and having an always be learning mindset, you can have a fulfilling career. That means you have to have an open mind for you to be able to learn. If your mind is closed, you won't be able to get in new information into your head. Certifications have really helped me earn my customers' trust as a consultant. So if someone knows that you are certified in a particular area, just like Emmanuel said, he mentioned that he's AWS certified cloud practitioner. So if someone knows that you are certified in a particular area, in a particular skill, the person will certainly have trust in you that, yes, because this guy is certified in this particular area, I believe he's up to the task. So whatever you give him, he'll be able to deliver. Then below, under find additional resources, these are other places you can visit to find additional resources while you learn on this platform. So that's it. Let's go back up. So for a start, if you already have an account on this platform, I believe once you log into the website, this is what you'll be seeing. Then on the right-hand side, the top extreme, the top right, you can see JD. That's the name of the person who owns the platform. So once you click on it, you see the display name and the email address. You also see profile settings and sign out. Let's go to profile. So what you can see here, the top left of the screen, you can see the name of the owner of this account, the Microsoft Certification ID, that's MCID. You can see he's already gotten 113 badges. So these are what you get by learning on this platform. So as you keep learning, as you keep completing modules for particular courses, you get to obtain badges for those courses you are taking and completing. You also see trophies. Trophies are basically for when you come to a particular course, there are modules and there are learning paths. So badges are for modules and trophies are for learning paths. So that's the difference between the two. Under activity, the left part of the screen, activity talks about, it will show you a rundown of what you've been into on your account, what you've been learning so far for the past 30 days or so. Activity, training, challenges, certification, Q&A, achievements, collection, and the rest of them. So once you join this challenge, once it is live, you can gain access to it. That's after you've joined. You can gain access to it by clicking on challenges. So that is also a button where you can also see the challenges you've already participated in, the one that has ended and the ones that are currently ongoing. So as you can see, these are challenges that have ended already. There are lots of them. So this is where you see all of them put together. So whether you complete them or not, this is where you can see them. So joining the challenge will give you an opportunity to, even if you don't get the opportunity to finish it within the time frame, you can still go back and continue learning. So that is it. Under certification, this is where you see probably you've scheduled for an exam. This is where you can see it. Then if you've written an exam and passed it, this is also where you can see those you've passed. Okay. Can you go to the search box and search box? Yeah, go to the search box and type something like type AZ900. Let's see. Oh, sorry, type Azure. Type Azure. Okay. So as you can see on the screen, the left side is yeah, continue. Yeah, on the left side of the screen, you can see filters. So these are what you can use to zero in on the particular thing you are looking for. So are you looking for a certification? Are you looking for a training, documentation? Do you want to find a product? So let's assume we want to look for something under Azure. Can you check the box for Azure under find the product? Yeah, check the box. Okay, then go back up scroll up. Can you check training? Click on training. Let's see. So once you use this filters, it will zero in on what you're looking for based on the boxes you've checked already. So let's go to, can you click on Azure for data engineer learning path training? So basically what we are doing here is whatever you want to learn, once you know the title of whatever you want to learn, do you want to learn about AI, cloud computing, data analysis, big data, anything at all. Once you come here, type in the title of whatever you want to learn and search. So once the resources are displayed, you can use the filter to zero in on what you are looking for. You can also see something about uh, beginners, fundamental level, specialty level, and the rest of them. So what you are seeing on the screen now is a learning path for Azure for data engineer. Like I mentioned earlier, a learning path contains modules. It can contain more than one module. Some contain as much as 12 modules. So it depends on the learning path. So once you get into a learning path, you start with the first module and learn. Most times, the beginner courses don't take much time. They take as much as at least 6 hours or less. So depending on the time you have, they won't take much time for you to go through fundamental courses. So this should be the first module in this learning path, understand the evolving world of data. So as you go into, when you go into this particular module, at the end of the module, you'll be given a test, a kind of knowledge check. I'm not sure if it's here. Check another module, let me see. So at the end of each module, you see most times anyway, it doesn't appear in all. So most times, once you finish a particular module, you'll be given a knowledge check. Yeah, like this one you're seeing now. It just gives you a few of like 3 questions or 2 that you answer. So as you're learning, you are collecting points. As you can see, the same line where you see knowledge check towards your right, you can see 200 XP. So once you answer this question on this page, you get 200 XP. So the point is basically, it doesn't mean whether you get the questions correct or not. I'm able to go through it and answer the question model or learning path. So that's it for this kind of a brief tour. So as you can see on top, on this page, you can see training, products, career path, learning path, courses, educator center, student hub, FAQ, and health. So on your own, and into all these menus and sub menus individually to find out resources you can take advantage of under each of them. Most especially as a student, you might want to go into that the one called student hub. So there are a lot of information hiding there. So if you don't go there, you won't be able to know what you see. So could you go into, let's see, student hub? Overview, student certification, gift pin for students, become a student ambassador. So a lot of information are hidden here, like a lot of information. So if you don't go there, you won't be able to know what you will find. So just scroll down. So this particular one, Microsoft for Startup Founders Hub. So this one will be coming up this month. So once you sign up on this platform, you can go straight to this particular one and sign up for it. That's if you're a student who is building a startup, you are thinking you have a startup already, or you are thinking of building one. So that is an event where Microsoft wants about how they can support students who are building a startup. So build an early stage startup, learn AI with GitHub Copilot, Azure AI fundamentals, data analysis with Python. So the resources here are endless. As we keep going inside, the resources keep um, becoming bigger and bigger. AI engineer, data scientist, data analyst, developer. So these are careers in AI. So there are a lot of information are.
Is it just me, or you guys can hear the speaker?
He just went off. Can't hear him anymore.
Oh, okay, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe you can round
Okay.
up in the next 2 minutes so that we move on. Uh,
Okay. All right. This platform gives you the information you can find here is it's a lot. It's a lot. You get free access to learning resources, unlike some other platform where you have to pay before you learn, and even after learning, you have to pay to validate your knowledge and the skills you have gained. So Microsoft is here for students. So they are doing a lot. They are doing a lot, and I implore you guys to take advantage of this challenge. Tell your friends about it, your classmates, your hostel mates, your anyone you can tell. Just tell them, and yeah. Thank you, Joshua.
all right. So thank you so much, Mr. David Atama. We really appreciate your effort, and we appreciate. Please, if you can, if your hands are not too busy, you can click on the clap emoji to clap for him for giving us this amazing tour. I mean, uh, even personally, truly, I've learned a lot from this tour, and then it has given me a better understanding of how to go about the Microsoft Learn platform. In fact, the Microsoft Learn platform is a school on its own, right? It's a school on its own. So, yeah. So if you are looking for anything to learn around tech, you can go ahead to the Microsoft Learn platform to learn about that. Even if it is something apart from this whole challenge, you can go about, you can go to the Microsoft Learn platform to make research about it. So thank you so much, Mr. David. We really, really appreciate. I mean, we do not take your effort for granted. We really appreciate. Thank you so much. So so next thing is now let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the challenge that we have on ground. Uh, the challenge, which is the summer cloud computing and artificial intelligence challenge, and then how we can be able to go about the challenge and how we can record our success moving forward as we do the challenge. So let me share my screen um, right away so you can be able to see the slides that we have prepared for today. Just let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Your screen was coming up, then okay, we can see it now. I can see your screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let me project now. So now we have already Mr. Emmanuel has introduced us to artificial intelligence, while Mr. David has also introduced us to the Microsoft Learn platform, and he has given us a tour of the whole platform and how we can be able to get access to the numerous and unlimited resources out there for each and every one of you to be able to benefit from on the Microsoft Learn platform. So today we are going to talk about the Cloud Skills Challenge, I think, which is the major thing that that brought us to this call today. Each and every one of us here is highly, highly interested to know how to go about the challenge and how to get some of those benefits that are prepared for you in this challenge. So let's go on. Now, I've already mentioned that the three objectives of this challenge, right? We've already mentioned that earlier. So now let me give you guys the full details of this challenge. Now, the title of the challenge is Microsoft Azure Summer Artificial Intelligence, which is AI and Cloud Computing Challenge. Now, this challenge, the challenge subject is AI and cloud computing fundamentals. So if you don't know anything about cloud computing or you don't know anything about artificial intelligence, this is the course for you, and it will give you a fundamental knowledge about it. So you don't need to be a professional, or maybe when somebody hear the word artificial intelligence, he thinks that, okay, this thing is only meant for professionals and so on. No, this is meant for anybody that is enthusiastic about learning, and then he wants to acquire, or he or she wants to acquire a skills in artificial intelligence. This is actually the course, or this is actually the learning path for you to be able to take advantage of. So now, when is the starting date? Officially, this challenge is starting on Monday, which is the 18th of September 2023. That is when this challenge is officially kicking off. And then yeah, I'm going to show you guys the modules that we are going to be looking at and how we are going to go about it. So we have amazing prizes for you guys. We have prizes like free 12 months LinkedIn Premium, and then LinkedIn Premium voucher, and then we also have 3 months Xbox subscription. Those are some of the benefits that comes with going through this challenge and going or let me say going through the challenge to the latter. That is, when you finish the challenge, we are going to apply for some of those incentives that will come from Microsoft to help to also encourage you, um, or let me say, to be able to give you something alongside to show that the 6 weeks that you'll be spending on this particular challenge is worth the while. So I think that is so exciting and is so amazing from their own end. So now, when you sign up for this challenge, you receive some email, right? When officially the challenge starts on Monday, and then I send you the link to the challenge, you are going to receive an email, right? Now, when you receive the email, so the email you are going to receive is to tell you that what you have registered for this challenge, and then you can also, when the challenge is almost over, they will also send you another email. So the email that you'll be using to sign up for this challenge, you receive an email to tell you that you have registered for this challenge. And then secondly, again, you're going to receive an email when it is almost over. And then thirdly, it will also tell you, or you also receive an automated email that the challenge is actually over. So you can see these are the examples of the emails that you are going to be receiving. First, you see that you are already registered, and then the second email is that the challenge will end soon, and then the third one is that the challenge has ended. So these are the three emails that you are going to receive when you finally, and then those emails are going to come directly from Microsoft, apart from the one that I sent to you when you signed up for the challenge. Apart from that one, you're going to receive another one from Microsoft. Now, the thing that you need to pay attention to is that, don't forget, right? Add email notification on your profile to make sure you receive notices about the challenge. So make sure that you turn on the notification so that whenever the challenge, where at every point that the challenge is, you should be able to receive a notification with regards to what is going on in the challenge, right? So you should make sure that you have your notification on and you are set always to receive those notifications. Now, these are the various modules that we are going to be looking at. And then now how this challenge is going to go on is that for our first week, we are going to basically talk about, or we are going to describe cloud concepts. That is the first thing that we are going to discuss for week one. So anything from next week, we are going to look at, basically, you guys need to have the understanding of what cloud concepts, how cloud concept is. First, you need to understand that. Now, at the end of next week, we are going to, because this call is going to be continuous. And then, so by the end of this call today, right, next week, after we've taken describe cloud concept, this time next week, we are going to bring up another speaker that is going to give you guys an experience from his own experience point of view about the cloud concept. Yeah, I know it is one thing to read and then you understand on your own. And then when somebody teaches you for the second time again, it resonates more and then it sticks more to your memory, right? I think maybe that person may have a special way of explaining it to you that you grasp the concept just after that. So at the end of the week of next week, which is this time next week, Saturday, we are still going to have this meeting where we are going to bring up an amazing speaker that will talk about the cloud concept. That is all. So now, when we finish for that next week, then the upper week, which is week two, we are going to describe Azure architecture and services, which is what the Azure cloud, the Microsoft Cloud Computing services and architecture, right? And then when we are done doing that, that same week again, we are going to describe Azure management and governance, right? Now, these three modules is for one part of the challenge, because this challenge is in two parts. One is cloud computing, and the second one is what? Artificial intelligence. So it means that in 2 weeks, we should be done with cloud computing, right? And then for the second week again, we are going to bring up another amazing speaker who is going to break these concepts for us and then explain from his own experience point of view. Isn't that amazing? Right? So now, after that, when we are done with the first part, which is what? Cloud computing, then the next one is what? Artificial intelligence. So from week 3, we are going to get started with artificial intelligence. You need to understand what artificial intelligence is, what are the different types of artificial intelligence. You are going to understand machine learning, what are the different types of machine learning. Like we have the natural language processing, just like Emmanuel was saying. We also have the computer vision, different types, classification, and so on. These are all different types of artificial intelligence and machine learning that you need to understand from week 3, right? Yeah, we are going to bring up another amazing speaker that Saturday again for week 3 that is going to explain this concept for us. Now you can see that we are giving you, I think this particular challenge is actually giving you a lot for free to equip you even as you go into cloud computing and then artificial intelligence. Then now for week 4, we are going to explore visual tools for machine learning, right? That is basically what we are going to look at in week 4. And then another amazing speaker on Saturday. So each and every Saturday, somebody is going to come up and then he's going to give you guys a hands-on experience of some of this platform or of this platform totally, and how you can be able to build your own solutions. Then for week 5, again, we are going to explore computer vision. And the same week, we are going to look at natural language processing again. So these are the things. And then in our concluding week, we are going to explore decision support and what explore knowledge mining. I think by week 6, that is when we are ending. So you can see that we are starting from September 18th and then we are ending October 31st, right? So is going to be should I say a hell of a ride, right? You're going to enjoy the whole learning part. And trust me, the speakers that are going to be coming up every Saturday to help you guys understand this concept and to answer and entertain any question that you may have inquired while learning. They are going to they are going to do justice to some of those challenges that you are facing. Of course, that is why we are calling it a challenge, right? You must actually you must actually encounter a few challenges that you cannot be able to um, should I say, answer on your own or solve on your own. That is why we need to bring up other people that can help you from their own wealth of experience to fill up some of those things. Now that is it. That is just an overview. So just like I said, just a summary of this whole slide. I said that this challenge is shared into 2 parts. For week 1 and week 2, basically we are going to be talking about cloud computing, right? And then from week 3 down to week 6, which is what we are dedicating 4 weeks to discuss about what artificial intelligence. So the challenge is 2. We have one, which is the AZ 900, which is AZ 900 is basically for the cloud computing, while AI 900 is starting from what week 3 down to week 6, right? That is for artificial intelligence. So please, if you have any question, please feel free to write those questions down at the end of the my presentation. You're going to ask questions starting from Emmanuel to David and then to me next. Now, during the challenge, visit the challenge page to get started, view your progress, and see the leaderboard. Now, when you start the challenge, when Mr. David was giving us the talk, when we clicked on challenge, you saw the list of challenges that I have gone through, right? Now, on that particular page, when this challenge has fully kicked off, you can go back there and then you can see the challenge and then you see the time allotted for that challenge. How many weeks do we have left? How many days do we have left? How many hours do we have left? And how many minutes we have left? Now, while you are still there, you see your progress, right? You see your progress. I think there's an illustration here. The first red arrow will show you how many modules that you have covered. And then it will also tell you to continue learning so that you can be able to cover up all those modules rather. Now, when you look at the leaderboard actually gives you a display. The leaderboard gives you a display of the people that are doing the challenge with you, right? So for all the people uh, that join the challenge, you are going to see them um, on leaderboard, and then there you can know which position you are. And then of course, when benefits comes, hopefully when benefits comes, going to go back to the leaderboard, and then we're going to see the number of people that have completed the challenge. Those are the people that will be considered when should, in case free certification vouchers comes, we are going to, those are the people that will be considered, right? And so on, right? So now for the next thing, now I think I've already explained the whole thing about this particular page. Now moving forward, after the challenge is actually when you are going to get the benefit for the challenge, right? By the time that we have applied to Microsoft and we have gotten the benefit for the challenge, that is when uh, each and every one of you that have completely participate in the challenge is going to receive their incentives. Now, incentive winner will be selected at random. So please just know that the incentive winner will be what selected at random, one entry per 10 module. Now, for each 10 modules that you guys were able to collectively complete, you're going to receive one. There will be one. There will be one incentive for to be given at random. Do you understand? There will be one. So let's say, for instance, each and every one of you, or collectively, you guys are able to complete, let's say, 20 modules. It means that there are what two there are two um there are two incentives to be given at random. So it means that you should try as much as possible to complete almost all of the module, or if not, you should complete all of the modules provided to you on the platform, and then so that the incentives can be much for everybody to put, or let me say, more people to put their hands on. Now, the prizes that you'll be receiving is either Xbox Ultimate 3 months Game Pass voucher, or you're going to receive a LinkedIn Premium voucher for 12 months. So these are the incentives that you're going to get. And then now you'll be notified via your email after 7 days of challenge end date. So after 31st of October, you're going to receive an email of your challenge, or of the benefits of your challenge after being selected at random. So it's actually a random selection for it. So please, I would like you guys not to dwell on these incentives, because the incentives should be secondary, right? The main primary thing is what is your skill. So what you have learned so far. So we are only saying this to help you, right? To help you. Let's say, for instance, you're able to acquire the LinkedIn Premium. At least it will help you get more benefits when you or should I say, it will help set up your profile to look more to be much more professional when you go to LinkedIn. And then again, the benefits that come with LinkedIn Premium is that you get access to all the courses on LinkedIn Learning for free, right? All the courses for free. So that's another way to help you keep learning, right? So, but then don't focus on the incentives. Rather, you should focus on what you should be learning during the 6 weeks challenge. Now, is I think Mr. David has spoken about he has spoken about the the Microsoft Student Hub, right? Where you can go to the Student Hub, and then you get you see all the courses that are available for for students on the platform, right? All the courses that are there, you can go there, you see certification for students and so on. So many amazing things for students too. Now, the next thing is you can also apply for student ambassadorship. So if you have the desire to to be a force for good, right, you can apply for the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadorship Program, which is free for every student, provided you're a student on campus, to apply. And then you can be able to start getting some of those benefits that are out there for students from Microsoft. And then the next thing is you can also register for Imagine Corp, which is a competition for students globally from Microsoft. And then you get the chance, or you stand the chance to win $100,000 when you finally go through the Imagine Cup, and then you win it. And apart from that, also it gives you the opportunity to have a one-on-one mentorship from Satya Nadella, which is the CEO of Microsoft, right? And then the last thing is what there's a Microsoft student developer blog where you can go ahead to see some of the things that students have been doing on the Microsoft platform. Students like you. Now, I think I have come to the end of my presentation. Uh, Sorry if I'm a bit fast. I'm just looking at our time. I think we are fast spent. In fact, we really imagine, or we plan to spend only 45 minutes on this call, but as it is, we've exceeded 45 minutes. Yeah. So, but then thank you everybody for listening, and I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate uh, the, should I say, the decorum that you guys give. No, there's no interruption. There's no any other thing to distract me while this presentation was going on. So I really really appreciate. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. So please, if you have a question, you can feel free to ask, and I and the other speakers will be very, very happy to entertain your question and to answer you in the best possible way. So anybody that has a question, please feel free to ask. You can unmute your mic and then you ask your question. I'll be very happy. So Mr. Kiwanda, please ask your question.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm really, really excited. I'm really interested in it. Personally, I started learning data science via DataCamp, some other platforms like that. I was able to complete a few modules, but I've not really gone so far. And then somehow, I am somewhat distracted from it, and then I'm tilting towards cloud computing. Because initially, when I wanted to start learning tech, it was cloud computing that was on my mind. I actually somehow got a link to one of all these Microsoft free programs, and I started Microsoft Azure Fundamental 104. But I was having issues logging into the Azure platform. So my question is going to be on how to overcome those login problems. That's one of my questions. And then secondly, I've graduated. I'm no longer a student. I graduated around June, though I've not started work. So I want to know how this affects me, because it seems like everything here is towards people who are currently students. And then finally, I may start work anytime soon, but I really, really seriously, I want to complete this 6 week stuff. If I start work, it's going to be a tough one for me. So I want to know if I just want to say that from the get-go, so that in case there's any challenge I'm not able to meet up, it will understand where I'm coming from. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kiwanda. So let me give Mr. David the opportunity to answer any of the question if he can answer. Mr. David.
Okay. Um, if I got you correctly, K Wonder, you said you started AZ104 learning path. Am I correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay. If AZ104 is not the though it is not an issue though, but you should have started with AZ900. That's the very first course you are meant to meet once you come into Microsoft Azure. It's like a fundamental to the Azure platform in general before it starts diving deep inside. But then to the question where you talked about you are having login issues. There are links or emails where you can. Yeah, I don't know the particular issue you are getting, like the error message, but you can send an email to. I believe you receive email from Microsoft. You can email them, or there's also a support part to that Azure portal. Send them an email with a screenshot of the error you are getting on the page while trying to log in. Then on the part of not, you said you graduated in June. Okay, if you still have access to your school email, that's if your school provided a school email to students, I believe you are still covered. Because the most important thing is for there to be a way for you to verify yourself as a student. So if you still have access to your student's email, you are still on board the program. Then lastly, you said you might not have chance to complete course because of work, not work anytime soon. Within these 6 weeks to give time for them to complete whatever might be remaining, because I know whether you are a student or not, you might be occupied with one thing or the other. But these courses are actually short, right? They are actually short. You can finish the two of them, the two challenges within. But it was spread over 6 weeks so that at least if you are very much occupied, you'll still find your way to finish it up. So I believe this solves it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I don't know, Mr. Emmanuel, can you also throw more lights to it if actually you have one or two things to add on it?
Okay, thank you very much. So, three questions we asked. I think Mr. David did a lot of justice to them. But just to add quickly to the second and the, is it the first? I don't know. To the second and the third one. You know, you said something about learning data science in data camp and how that you had cloud computing in mind initially. I don't know what you do now. I'm going to ask probably at the end of my, opinion or my suggestion. I'm going to ask what you're in now, or the work you're about starting now. What is it, tech or? But the truth is, tech is not really a one-way thing. Nobody comes here figured out. Nobody comes here like, just for me now. When I came in, I studied computer science. My whole mind was okay, cybersecurity, and now I do data science. I had a friend that she was going to learn AI and other stuff, but her system could only allow her to learn web, and she's great in web now. So you don't get to say like, okay, because I want to learn data science, let's say my system cannot do data science, so I'm going to wait for me to be able to do data science before, or I want to learn cloud, and the scholarships I'm getting, the applications, the opportunities I'm getting, they are in web, or so I'm going to. You can always transition. So personally, I applied for an AWS training, like I said before. I did not know what cloud computing was when I applied. I had no interest in cloud computing. I did not, it was there that I was taught what these things were. Of course, I thought it would be about cybersecurity. But from there, opportunities have grown. That had given me a platform to, even if I'm interested in cybersecurity, to still go further, right? And these things are intertwined. For instance, I'm a data scientist. And on the cloud, you have data scientists on the cloud. You have a lot of other professions. The cloud is not really, most people think that cloud is something you just do cloud. That's very rare. You have things you do on the cloud. There are data scientists on the cloud. There is solution architect, solution engineer, data engineer, cloud security engineer. So you could also be a professional in something and then transition to the cloud and be a cloud professional of that thing. So if you are a security engineer, you become a cloud security engineer. So cloud is not really that you must learn it solo. So it's also great that you started learning data science. And if you're interested, I will encourage you not to drop it, because it's a very nice one. You shouldn't drop it because you feel like, okay, I want to do cloud, right? And then for the last question, you were talking about how that you're no longer a student and you could, the time, you may not be able to make out time. The truth is, it's all sacrifice, right? It's even, I don't know if to say it's more difficult on the part of the students, because students, they have a lot of deadlines, they have assignments, they have, they are thinking of exams. And the thing is, you just have to make out the time for it. If it's important enough, for you, like giving these benefits, if you are convinced that these are the things I could learn, and even on that job, this could just be what the metric that will be used to promote you, right? Assuming it's a tech job, right? Giving the metrics, you say, okay, this is important enough, I will make out the time. It could be 1 hour every day, it could be 2 hours every day. But my advice would be that you should choose consistency over content, right? You should not try to just, he said you can learn the course in 1 week. You should not try that, please. Don't try to just learn the whole course in 1 week and after that just drop it. That would be like, just completed the challenge and that's it. Just like writing an exam and you're forgetting everything that you learned in school. Try to, if it's 1 hour every day, if it's 2 hours every day, as little, even if it's 30 minutes daily, just make sure that you are dedicating time to it daily to actually, glean the insights from these courses, right? That's just it for me. So you actually have to make out, like, there is no perfect condition. Somebody said there is no perfect condition, there is no perfect time. The perfect time is now. There's no time, there is not, okay. The students now, when they're in school, you say, hey, I don't have time, I have exam, I have this. When I'm done with school, okay, now you are done with school, I say you have a job. There is no time that you will not have anything for you to be doing to allow you to do this challenge. You really have to make that sacrifice. So that's just it. And please, what do you do? Like, what are you into now? That you just said your data science, you've not finished it, and your cloud, it stopped logging in. So what do you do now? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that answer. I was a medical student, now I'm a medical doctor. So I'm just waiting to be posted to start my housemanship. The challenge is that once I start my housemanship, there'll be no time. Then why I couldn't go far and complete that data science course was because of med school. As at January, I resumed. I had paused before because I had an exam towards the end of last year. Then I resumed in January. But by February, March, my final exam was coming. So I just paused everything completely, did everything, and then finished my final exam. Now I was ready to dive deep down and then continue. They chased us out of the hostel. I've been moving up and down, so I've not had time to really settle down and then focus on it. And I'm looking back at it, if I had found a way to be consistent from that June when I finished my exam till now, perhaps I would have finished my data science, whatever. So that's just it for now.
Okay, thank you very much. I cannot say I understand because I'm not a medical student, understand, but I know how it's very, very hard for you guys. But since you have interest in this thing, I particularly feel like you have something, you could apply data science in the medical field. My friend built a brain tumor detection system for his project. So if this is actually important, and you know that it could give you an edge over other medical doctors that just have their medical skills and you have a tech skill, cloud, data science that you could apply. You could give it as even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, right? Just make sure that you are like it's consistency. Just try to 30 minutes is not too much. Now you have 30 minutes in a day. What are we talking about? Just find a very little time that you could just apportion. Okay, let's say from 8 to 8:30 every day I'll be doing this. That's just it. So I think that's just my suggestion. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that amazing question, and then the amazing answers that these speakers have given. And just in fact, the whole course is 17 hours. That's maximum. That is, we are just saying that you should divide 17 hours to 6 weeks. You understand? So if you divide it, you can see that even if, no matter how lazy you are, you should be able to, or no matter how busy, let me use this word best, no matter how busy you are, you should be, even if it is 30 minutes every day for 6 weeks, you should be able to complete everything. You understand? Even if it is 30 minutes every day, you should be able to complete everything before 6 weeks. You understand? So yeah, so the whole course is 17 hours. That's both for cloud computing is 7 hours, while AI is nine hours, 9 to 10 hours thereabout. So you can see that it is everything is 17 hours and so on. So yeah, so thank you so much for your question. I think that was a very good question. And again, for Azure, sometimes you might be getting restriction probably because maybe you filled in for the free 30 days access, right? Because they give you a free 30 days access to Azure for free so that you can be able to understand how Azure works. So probably that is maybe because you've exhausted your 30 days. That is why you don't have access to some of those services on Azure. So maybe what I would recommend is that you should try to maybe I don't know if you have another email or another Outlook email, so you can use it to get another 30 days for for the purpose of this particular learning path. Thank you so much. So, Mr. David, please go on. Maybe you have one or two things to add.
Yeah. I just wanted to add one more point on what Emmanuel said. I watched a video a few years ago where they were talking about this particular guy, a guy of about a boy, sorry, of about up to 12 years or so. So their parents spent millions trying to find out what was wrong with this child. Like they literally spent millions of dollars to learn fast, millions of dollars. And at the end of the whole story, it was only a data scientist that got to know what the issue was. So they just went to this guy and a lady, sorry. They went to the lady who also worked in the hospital, and he just ran some code on whatever data set she had, and they found a problem. So data science is it's really a good stuff where when you are talking about a medical field. It's a very rich area to go into. It will give you an edge over every other person who works in medical field if you have the skill. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. David. Thank you so much for the addition. Yes, so Mr. Odonye Jehoshaphat, I don't know if I pronounced your name or I slaughtered the name. I'm so sorry. So please, you can unmute your mic. And after this, I think we are far be we are far over the time that we are supposed to spend for this call. So please, after him, and that is all for today. Thank you so much. So go on, Mr. Odonye.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So I have a couple few questions to ask. Okay, firstly, I've been in the whole tech space for a while now, and I've learned a couple few things. And my question mainly is, okay, I'm actually interested in other part of or like learning other skill apart from the ones we have right now. The question I'm trying to ask here is, when we're done, let me assume you're good enough and you're certified. Is there like a space or maybe some sort of trial that Microsoft, since you are learning via the platform, is there like a platform or a means whereby they could give you maybe trial and then maybe place you on small stipend as you grow, and then maybe or even allow you work maybe as a volunteer that's practicing such tech skill, and then maybe if you're good enough they will absorb you. That is one. And then two, I noticed something, or let me say, I just want to ask, why is it so difficult for someone to actually learn stuff, maybe self-taught, maybe using videos over having hands-on practical or having somebody to actually guide you? Because I think it has been a problem for me, like a whole lot of stuff. You actually get maybe video tutorials and all of that, and then you try to follow them, and then we easily lose interest. Is it that it's because of the condition we have as maybe Africans that you can only learn via a classroom environment or when there are other people or something? So those are like my questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mr. Odonier, for that question. I think it's very, very interesting. So I know Mr. Emmanuel will have something to say about this question. So please, Mr. Emmanuel, you can unmute and answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. It's a really nice question. Really, really nice question. So, for the first question, you asked if probably as you're learning on Microsoft Learn, being a Microsoft platform, if there were opportunities, to put you on stipends and then see how you're growing and then absorb you. If there were such opportunities, everybody would be a Microsoft employee, right? Because we are all learning on the platform. Millions and billions of people are learning on the platform. And just so they don't get to waste their resources, Microsoft has dedicated those stipends, those so-called stipends, they've dedicated them to your learning, right? So you actually do get stipends, but not as money to eat. You get certificates that are valid to your employer. At times, you could get vouchers, right? Vouchers worth 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 to complete certifications. These are stipends, it's more than stipend. 300,000 is not a stipend, right? And but they don't really give you, money and say, okay, maybe they are putting that. Millions and billions of people are learning on these platforms, right? The company cannot afford to do that, being that this is not their only focus. They have other focus. They focus on health. They focus on, Bill Gates has a foundation here, has a foundation there. They are helping people with malaria in Africa. They are helping a lot of people. So this is what they can offer at the moment. And then they have a student ambassadorship program, which after learning or being familiar with this platform, you could apply for that program, become a student ambassador, and then there are a lot of benefits that come with it. I believe you could get free certificates, you could get LinkedIn learning, that's free. Is it free LinkedIn vouchers now? Free LinkedIn, right? Free pro LinkedIn or whatever it's called. You could get that, and then there are many other opportunities. You could go to Microsoft offices around you, when there are events, they give you some preferences. So for now, right, it's the student ambassadorship program. That's one of the, the takeaways that you could apply for, right? And if you're lucky to have one, those are just some of the benefits that you're going to be getting. And then for the second question, yes, you talked about videos and books, right, and other writing tools. Well, how come it's easier to learn from the writing tools than the videos? Well, that's for you. There are a lot of people that learn more from the videos than from the the writing. But personally, I think writing is better, and that is because there is something called fundamental knowledge and there is something called derived knowledge. when you're watching a video, the person learned it somewhere and then is now telling you what he learned. A lot of things has been lost. A lot of things has been lost in between, right? But when you're learning it directly from the material, and this is Microsoft material, Microsoft is giving you a material on their product. It's like a direct documentation, right? You're learning it directly. You could get a lot of insights. When you're learning it from the video, they will tell you what works. They will skip all the like, they will not tell you why it works. They'll just tell you, okay, do this, I did this, especially those Indian guys on YouTube. I did this, you just do this. Sometimes they don't work because there are many things that you're supposed to set up in place before doing those things. But when you're learning directly from Microsoft or from a book, a text material, you get those direct knowledge, right? It's just like comparing like going to church and if you're sorry, I don't know if you're Christians here, going to church and reading your Bible at home. When you go to church, the pastor tells you what he got from his own Bible. He could be wrong sometimes. But when you're studying your Bible at home, you get to learn directly from God's word, right? That's like so it's not, I cannot really say it's always easier from learning from materials or from videos, right? Different people have their different preferences. But personally, I believe learning from materials is a very great way because you get the fundamental knowledge, you get all the background knowledge, you know what works, you know why they work, you know how they work. But for videos, you're just interested in what will work and then you just do it. You don't really have that fundamental knowledge. You don't know why it's working. You just know that A plus B is equal to Z. You don't know why. And you cannot apply it across several domains. I listen to Elon Musk a lot and he likes to say something. He says the reason why he could do a lot on his platforms, like building SpaceX, building Tesla, is because unlike other people that learn with analogy, right? He learns using the law of first principles. He breaks things down to their minimum and then he builds up. If you learn from videos, you really cannot do that. Videos will only show you how to learn things by analogy. But reading the material, you could say, okay, if A plus B is equal to Z, then D plus R is equal to C. And you could apply those principles across. And that's what makes you a good problem solver, a good engineer, a good scientist. So I think that's my one kobo. Thank you very much.
Wow. I mean, this is so. I think maybe at the end of this, you guys may have to pay because there is a lot of wisdom that has been given that are being shared here for free. Trust me. I mean, these guys have answered the question just perfectly the way I would have answered it. Because personally, I enjoy doing it on my own, learning from books. That is why these days I acquire as much books that I can acquire. In fact, I've been getting books on Python programming, right? Learning them from scratch rather than downloading some videos on YouTube. Yeah, downloading videos on YouTube is good. It also help you. Should I say it helps you to get past a particular problem that you are finding it difficult to do on your own. But then you need that prerequisite or requisite knowledge from studying it from a book so that you can be able to apply it in another place. The most of the videos you find on YouTube are tailored towards solving a particular issue, but most of them are not, should I say, most of them are not flexible enough to be able to help you in another scenario. So that is why you need to understand or to get some of those books and then read some of those materials that are being given to you on Microsoft Learn so that you can follow them step by step and give you the laws and principles of why they are trying to do it the way that they wrote it there. You understand? So I think Mr. Emmanuel has given us a very perfect explanation to that. So thank you so much for that question, Mr. Jehoshaphat, and thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for giving us this apt answer to this question. So I, I don't know, Mr. Odonye, does that answers your question?
Yeah, actually, it did justice to it. Okay, and okay, like you had rightly said, most of the videos are tailored towards a particular problem, and I noticed that hands-on, when it comes to maybe the workspace and all, let me assume maybe one of these tech companies employs you and all, and maybe all you have is just the video knowledge on how to do this and that, and then they present to you maybe some sort of a problem, and then maybe the video never covered it. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to actually solve that. Maybe you have to still go back to all of those videos, or you have to start looking out for something that works again. But for the books, I notice if you're able to follow hands-on and if you're able to get the best of materials, it definitely will go a long way. So thank you so much for actually shedding more light on that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jehoshaphat. Thank you so much. I think your hand is still up and is distracting me a bit. So maybe you can bring down your hands. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So I think we have come to the end of today's class. I mean, I'm so energized and geared up towards facing this challenge from next week down to subsequent weeks to come. So, first of all, let me thank the speakers. Mr. David, in Essential, he dropped a message to me that he needs to jump on another call. So, thank you so much, Mr. David. And thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for coming up to speak to and do justice to the topics that was allotted. In fact, you guys are so amazing. Thank you so much. In fact, I reached out to them. I reached out to them quite late. I reached out to them. Trust me, I reached out to them quite late, but then they were able to suspend their other schedule so that they can be able to come up and then to talk to us and ginger us and um, give us a complete onboarding of this particular challenge. So we really appreciate for whatsoever energy and for whatsoever word that you put into this today. Trust me, we do not take it for granted and we really appreciate. Thank you so much. So please, you can send emojis to them, you can clap for them and so on for their amazing time and for their contributions. Thank you so much, Mr. Mr. David and Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much. So so moving forward, I will recommend that each and every one of us go back to the WhatsApp platform because I would like us to continue with this learning because this is actually a continuous learning process. So I believe each and every one of you have a LinkedIn profile and then a Twitter account. So you can feel free to write your name, introduce yourself, write your first name and then your last name, and then you send a link to your LinkedIn profile and then your Twitter handle. You attach it together and then you send it to the platform. And then you send maybe if you wish, you can send your experience about today's class. And then I think at the end of every sessions, we'll create a form and then we'll send it so that we can be able to get your response on how we can be able to be anchoring and going about each of the sessions for the next 6 weeks. So we need those data. We'll be collecting them. So if you wish to also send it to us on the WhatsApp platform, it is also appreciated. So thank you, each and every one of you. And then for the time that each and every one of you spend on this platform, on this meeting today, we really appreciate and we do not take it for granted. And then from me, I don't know if Mr. Emmanuel has any final words to say.
Okay, I just really want to say thank you, Mr. Joshua, for putting this together and then for inviting different speakers across different institutions. That was a good one. That was a great one. And I just want to say thank you to all the participants of this meeting and prospective participants of the challenge, right, or the challenge. I just want to encourage us before I leave that many times, like the medical student said something. Sorry, I did not really take note of the name. That's K Wonder. It said something about if he had completed his data science course, like if he had continued the data science course from where he stopped, he would have been able to complete it before now. It's never too late. It's not too late to be what you could have become. And I think I have always made that mistake at some point in my journey where I feel like, oh, I've missed it. Okay, I was supposed to learn data science last year, but I could not. So that's it. I feel like it's too late for me. I'm looking at other data scientists and I'm like, oh, look at what I could have become. It's never too late, really. So don't think that maybe because you had cloud challenges that you could not join, or you had cloud challenges that you joined and you could not complete. That should not in any way affect this one, right? You should focus on this, and you should focus on not just completing it, but completing it well, getting the knowledge. Like every day when you learn, ask yourself, what did I really learn today? What did I, not just doing it, just going next, and then you complete it and then you come and share your badge and tell us you are done. No, it doesn't work like that. You should be more focused on the, means and end. This is just a means to an end. Don't treat it as an end. You learn the courses and then you get the knowledge and then you apply it. That's the end, right? You learn the course, get the knowledge, you apply it. If all you did is learn the course, then we should be scared for you, right? So that's just it. Try your best, be diligent, be consistent, right? I always say consistency over content. If you have to do it for 10 minutes daily, for 20 minutes daily, for 1 hour daily, it's okay. Don't try to finish the course in one day and then rest and say, okay, I'm done with the challenge. I was the first, right? We don't really do first come first. It's not really about who finishes first. It's about who gained the most knowledge, who can apply it across different domains. So that's just it for me. Thank you once again, and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think Mr. Emmanuel, you should be a motivational speaker. So 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 yeah, so I think you should be a motivational speaker because I mean we have been speaking aptly on some of those issues or on some of those things. So thank you so much, and please have a wonderful night rest. And as the president will say, you say enjoy your weekend. And I am also saying in that light, you should enjoy your weekend, and then let's all prepare our minds towards Monday. So I will be sending this video to YouTube. I'll be posting it on YouTube, of course. I'll be posting it on YouTube, and then I'll share the link to you guys on the platform so that if you have your friend too that was not able to join today, you can be able to share it to the person so that the person can be kept up to date on today's call. So thank you each and every one of you, and have an amazing night rest and enjoy your weekend once again. All right, good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, everybody.